On this week's episode, we're talking Bray Wyatt and what the future holds for the new face of fear post-WrestleMania. We discuss the latest on the Bill DeMott controversy. We analyse the situation between Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon, as well as the special treatment Rusev will supposedly receive at WrestleMania 31. All that and much, much more on this week's main event. Welcome WWE fans to the Main Event Podcast, episode number 36. Your weekly wrestling fix tending to all of your WWE needs. As you can tell by the silence and the fact that I've not been interrupted yet, Arif isn't with us, but I do have Imran. How you doing?
Welcome, I'm good, and I've got some sad news actually about Arif. He's been suspended after attempting a punch on a producer. So
Who's our producer? Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
We've had some...
He's the guy who hasn't been pressing the record button for the past 2 weeks.
I mean, we have had some uploading and recording issues over the last 2 weeks. We did sit down and record for about 2 hours or something, which was quite...
somebody didn't press record.
Exactly, that was quite upsetting as well. No audio was being picked up. So if you're hearing this one, it means I pressed record and it's working at last. So thank you for being patient, whether you're a listener who's waiting in anticipation to see the latest episode appear on your iTunes feed, or whether you're one of the 400 plus subscribers on YouTube. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
You can also listen to us on Podomatic, Stitcher as well, your tablets, smartphones, and I think as of next month we should be on SoundCloud as well. The links for all of those will be in the description boxes wherever you're listening, and we hope you do continue to listen to us and recommend us to all fellow WWE fans, especially with WrestleMania edging closer and closer. Now that the cheap plugging is out of the way, we do have a jam-packed show for you. As you heard already, we're discussing Bray Wyatt and what the near future holds for him, or it should hold for him anyway. The situation surrounding former NXT head trainer Bill DeMott, he's still in the news, as expected. So we look at what else has been going on over the past few days with him. I think he's still continuing to deny the allegations anyway. Will Brock Lesnar sign a new deal? We're going to discuss what's going on with his contract situation with Vince McMahon. We have the highs and lows from Monday Night Raw, Wednesday Night NXT, Thursday Night SmackDown.
And I have a surprise.
What's the surprise?
Lucha Underground. Am I going to review it? Can I review it?
If you want. I mean, if you really want to, you can.
Yeah, it only happens to be the best wrestling show in the whole of the world so far.
I thought the cheap plugging was out of the way. How much are they paying you to do this best show in the world? Yeah, we do have all the highs and lows from those shows, so stick around to see whether the shows this week were a hit or a miss. We've also got a lot more stuff on Samoa Joe, backstage jealousy in NXT, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match at WrestleMania, Rollins versus Orton, and of course the rumoured entrance for current United States champion Rusev. Right there on with the show, no time wasting, no corny jokes with Arif. We're better to start off with the first day of the week, Monday Night Raw. Did they step up this week? Imran, any guesses on whether I'm going to start off with a low or a high?
I think it's going to be a high.
You're wrong, it's a low.
Really?
Yeah. My first low is the crowd. Obviously, they chanted yes with Daniel Bryan. They went crazy for Brock Lesnar, went crazy for Randy Orton when he RKO'd Seth Rollins. But I think there was more silence than any reaction, especially when John Cena had Rusev. That's supposed to be a moment where the crowd, just take the roof off the place.
Yeah.
But they didn't. It was just quiet, and it just felt like they weren't interested, especially with WrestleMania coming. I thought the crowds for the next 3 or 4 shows up until WrestleMania were going to be really, really loud. Obviously, this is the place where they turned on Roman Reigns and everything. I think they should have supported more of the stars. They should have booed more of the heels, if they didn't. But I don't think you can blame the crowd entirely because they weren't given much material to work with in the first place.
I mean, it's funny you say the crowd actually, because reviewing SmackDown, reviewing NXT, I had a bit of a problem with the crowd as well. But one place I didn't have a problem with was Lucha Underground. But
we're back there again, Lucha Underground. So much cheap plugging. My next point is a high. John Cena. Sometimes words just don't do it. Last week, he had to convince Rusev to grant him a US title rematch at WrestleMania. He said no. I think John Cena could have just played mind games. He could have just insulted Rusev. being John Cena, could have just put himself into the match one way or another. Instead, this week, John Cena dared Rusev to badmouth America, threatening to shut him up. Rusev took that bit, and Cena simply stalked to the ring, locked him in the STF until Rusev tapped, and Lana begged for mercy and granted Cena the title match.
See, the thing is, Rusev tapped.
But
now, throughout his build, they've been building him up as this monster, this huge monster, and I actually wanted to see John Cena go into WrestleMania as this underdog. But
we've still got weeks. We've still got a few weeks left to see what happens. You never know. But I think the point for me here with John Cena is that he didn't deliver a promo afterwards. He just smirked, walked away. It was simple, effective, a simple, effective way to get what he wanted. He goaded him and attacked. For once, there was something refreshing about John Cena for a change. But it will be interesting to see how things, progress in the last 2 weeks or so. Whether Rusev is going to get his comeuppance or he'll stay as an undefeated monster. My next point is a low. It is Mizdow, Wizdow, whatever you want to call him. Usually it's a high, but this week's a low. I think this has been one of the few feuds that's been built up so well over the course of several months. It's the one between Miz and his former stunt double, Damien Mizdow. When the stunt double gimmick has run its course, Miz fired him, then rehired Mizdow as a personal assistant. And I think, what did we get this week? He just announced he's entering the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal along with The Miz. With 6 matches announced, a tag team title match, it's possible that Miz and Mizdow could pull double duty. I would have liked to see Mizdow versus Miz at WrestleMania.
I just wish I didn't see that whole thing. Wiz Khalifa coming out singing. They had the pyros going off afterwards as well.
I'm sure that was a PG. Half of his lyrics.
It was terrible.
Oh my god! Yeah. So the whole Wiz Khalifa thing was a big negative as a whole. But as I said, I would like to see Miz and Mizdow, but I doubt it. Probably use the Battle Royal as a catalyst for a potential future match. My next high, quite emotional actually. Conor the Crusher. One of the most touching stories to come out of the WWE in the past several years. Their affiliation with Conor the Crusher, Conor McCulloch, a sick child who wanted to meet Daniel Bryan. An unusual relationship formed there as well. I think it just brought a smile to everyone's face. Was it pediatric brain cancer? He made a massive impression on everyone, wrestling fans, the superstars, divas themselves, management. They invited him to WrestleMania last year, rolled the red carpet. He got to pin Triple H in the middle of a ring. Yeah. Helped Bryan celebrate his win at WrestleMania. Obviously, after WrestleMania, he did sadly pass away, aged only 8. This week, Raw was in Pittsburgh, and I think his dad, and I think that was his brother as well, were in attendance. They honoured him. Last year at the Hall of Fame, Ultimate Warrior mentioned creating an award to honour those who give a lot back, and Conor the Crusher is the first recipient of the Warrior Award, a fitting tribute on a kid who clearly had a massive impact on several superstars. So that's a great touch by WWE.
It was just so fitting as well that they named it the Warrior Award, and obviously it was Conor that's the first person going into that wing, but absolutely deserved. I mean, best decision by WWE in the last several years, by far. My next point is again a high. Surprise, surprise! It's Paul Heyman. Heyman this week ripped through the popular conversation being discussed on dirt sheets. Namely, if Brock Lesnar is leaving after WrestleMania to go back to UFC, then he's clearly losing to Roman Reigns. There have also been rumours of taking the title off him before WrestleMania because of his walkout a couple of weeks ago. Heyman did a fantastic thing. He blended these discussions with reality and storyline to paint a vivid picture. The Authority might try to screw Lesnar out of the world title, so Seth Rollins could cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Reigns because Rollins would be cheaper as champion. It's obviously a dig on the rumour that Lesnar is leaving because of money. Heyman even threatened that if anyone tries to pull a Montreal screw job at WrestleMania, they won't leave the stadium alive. I think the biggest kicker there was if Brock Lesnar wasn't to spend if he wants to spend his summer unifying the WWE and UFC titles, then he'll do it. Yeah. And that if the title doesn't belong to WWE anymore, it belongs to Brock Lesnar. Obviously, the goal is, to make Lesnar a hated heel for Reigns to conquer, but it looks like it could have been the opposite effect. Is making Lesnar the outlaw champion, booking the system. I think that's a similar gimmick to what happened with Stone Cold Steve Austin a generation ago. Still, this was a must-see segment. I think this, for me, was a highlight of the show anyway. Yeah, for me, like, again, being part of the dirt sheets, he kind of brought reality. I wasn't expecting that. The fact that he would break the fourth wall and address the fourth wall, these rumours. But just so excellently done. I mean, Paul Heyman, for me, he is Mr. Raw. He makes Raw just so much worth watching.
Yeah. Next point is a low. Big match build-up. Obviously, kudos to Brock Lesnar. He made his first appearance on WWE in a month. Obviously, he wasn't joined by other big-name stars. I'm mentioning Sting and Undertaker. Obviously, I'm not trying to say they should have been there, but it just felt like their matches weren't hyped enough, especially Sting. I do think that if they were there, their mystique would have gone. But I just think that imagine what could have been if Sting was faced with Triple H again, and what would have happened if Undertaker finally did come face to face with Bray Wyatt. I think that's one thing we're missing out on, is an Undertaker and Bray Wyatt confrontation before WrestleMania. Obviously, I don't think we'll get it, but I think it could have been improved by that.
As in, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania just because I've not seen The Undertaker for a whole year, and Sting, well, I've never seen him in the ring, in a match for WWE. But I do think it's hurting Raw, definitely.
My next point is a high, though, and that goes to Bray Wyatt. What I'm trying to say here is, whenever a superstar, this is in my head, so I don't know if it makes sense, I hope it makes sense to you guys. Whenever a superstar has challenged The Undertaker in the past at WrestleMania, they've always taken a step back in the confrontation with the dead man, acting afraid. This week, Bray Wyatt didn't do that. I mean, we know Bray Wyatt single-handedly he's been carrying the feud against the dead man. He challenged him indirectly and then directly a number of weeks ago. He got his answer when Undertaker's ear started smoking. This week Wyatt yelled, "Give it to me, come on." That does sound inappropriate when I'm reading it, but that's just how it is. When Bray's signature rocking chair appeared in the ring, the lightning, that was a great touch. Wyatt started laughing. Yeah. That was key for me. That was just perfect. Considering a year ago, Wyatt was engaged in a feud with Cena, he couldn't get the upper hand unless he had, Harper and Rowan and a small child with a demonic voice doing the business for him. Now he's metaphorically standing toe-to-toe with The Undertaker, calling him out at WrestleMania. He's elevating himself with his actions. If that continues, he could emerge on the underside of Mania as a very, very serious player in the WWE.
Yeah, as in for me, like there was one moment where they actually showed Bray Wyatt's name on, the hood, but it was kind of like, I don't know, it was strange. It was like, what The Undertaker's been receiving recently, the past couple of years, he has the small purple fog and then the name Undertaker appears. Yeah. This was very Bray Wyatt, and it made me realise that Bray Wyatt is kind of a modern version of The Undertaker. He has the Undertaker gimmick. He's playing with that, and he was working so well with that.
The new face of fear says it all.
He really is. He really is, and it's strange because like the past few stars that face The Undertaker, they've been a lot more grounded, a lot more realistic. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, but this is Bray Wyatt playing The Undertaker's own game, his own gimmick against him, and I'm enjoying that so much.
That is unique. We've not seen a gimmick take on a gimmick in quite a while anyway in the WWE. Yeah. My final point is a low, and it's Sting. We know Sting is, limited to just a few appearances. Having Sting appear here probably would have shattered whatever mystique he has, as I said. Mm-hmm. But Monday's vignette was just awful. I mean, yeah, the build-up to it, it was good. But I think the toughest thing to swallow was the voiceover. It wasn't Sting. But the person spoke in first person. Maybe if it sounded like it was an altered voice, you could accept that Sting was running his promo. But that wasn't the case. If you did get past that, this is just a little thing that irritated me. Then the reasoning kind of had an effect on me as well. I mean, the reason was Triple H's power and ego, is corrupted and destroyed others' lives. Sting saw the same thing about WCW's demise, despite his best efforts to prevent it. But now he's going to take down Hunter. The best part of it, he's waited 14 years to do it. That's what got to me. I'm like, why? Why would you let supposedly other people's lives be destroyed? Yeah, let's just wait 14 more years to see how many lives he can destroy. And then I'll make my appearance when I'm 55 years old, and then I'll take him on. That little things irritated me. As a whole, I thought Raw wasn't a Raw you'd think WrestleMania just around the corner.
Can I just bring up the biggest point you've probably missed? that I think the whole Raw was centered around. The opening and the close of the show.
But that's
we finally got the RKO.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I didn't mention that because it was that predictable. I didn't think it was a low because the end brawl was entertaining.
Yeah.
Heel turn was predictable, and I didn't think it was a positive or a negative. That's why I didn't mention it. Obviously, it was good. We knew it was going to turn heel. It's just a matter of when. The opening segment, I admit that was pretty cool when Orton, kind of went off on one, then came back and won Seth Rollins. But I credit Seth Rollins for that. He's playing his character very well as well.
Yeah.
But for me, that Raw, as I was saying, I don't think, to me, it seemed like a Raw where you expect WrestleMania just around the corner.
Yep.
It wasn't too bad. I think it could have been better. There were a lot of highs, probably the same amount of lows as well. Really tough to call it, but I'm going to sway towards the high this week.
Yeah, I think I would do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in, to me, it felt like this is the best Raw that WWE can put on.
Yeah.
Because they're so limited recently.
Exactly.
Yep. But there you go, guys. That was the worst review of the best wrestling show. Yeah,
we did talk about the Paul Heyman promo about Brock Lesnar. We've heard a lot about his contract. What do you think the plan is? Is there a plan?
Is no plan. There is no plan.
They're just winking it.
The reports currently are that neither Vince McMahon, neither Lesnar want to move. And it's very clear that Lesnar is in no short of contracts. He has places to work. He has the UFC to work. Yeah. He said it on WWE's Raw.
I think Lesnar knows that. So he knows he can stick to his guns and Vince will budge.
Yeah, and as much as people don't like part-timers, this is the one part-timer who is actually amazing. He is a big draw. We love to watch him wrestle. We love to take him on. To see him take on these big scenarios, even the little scenarios, even if we got the Daniel Bryan match, it would have been great to see. Could we see that at SummerSlam? That's only if he sticks around.
Yeah, as I wrote about it a few weeks ago about Lesnar. I don't know if he's going to sign a new contract or not. I hope he does, because the guy puts, people or fans in seats. It doesn't matter if he's there once a month, once every 3 months. The guy sells tickets. For me, if he does sign a new deal, I'd like to see him beat Roman Reigns, because he's had an incredible year to conquer the streak, to destroy John Cena, to retain against all odds against Rollins and Cena. I mean, they played the fact that he broke a rib. He wasn't in the match. He came back. He took shots to the head with the briefcase, took AAs, and he still walked as champion. I don't think a Superman punch can put him down and keep him down at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, they still, if the reports are correct, Lesnar's appearing the next night on after WrestleMania on Raw.
Isn't that when his contract expires?
That's when it expires, yeah. So hopefully he could lose it then. And the thing is with Brock Lesnar, as soon as he came back, the match he came back, he lost. He was happy to lose. I mean, somebody who's coming back from their return, normally first match back, you wouldn't want to lose. So Brock Lesnar is a person who who's a very professional. Yeah. Him walking out of Raw, it must have been something big. Things aren't going his way, and he's not happy with it.
But at the same time,
the contract situation is not looking great.
At the same time, I don't think Lesnar cares who holds the gold, whether it's Reigns or Rollins, because at the end of the day, he's going to get his check, and that's what matters. Providing for his family.
No, as in he does.
Obviously, he'd like to stay as champ.
What he's told to do, so. Yeah.
Apart from agree to a contract, he doesn't agree to do that.
Yeah, but it is power.
Obviously, we've got a few weeks left to WrestleMania. I don't think Lesnar's that kind of person who'll walk out and not fulfill his contractual obligation. I think he will stay. It's no secret, he likes Vince. We know that. They've got a good relationship. But I'd hate for it to turn ugly so close towards WrestleMania. As in, it turned ugly last year when Punk walked out, but at least he did it in January. We don't need Lesnar walking out 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
Yes, the Punk situation was totally different, though. This Lesnar situation
No, but my point is that Punk was a big name. People would have wanted to see him anywhere at WrestleMania, but at least he did it months before, so they could have worked around it. Whereas this time, there's no plan. They can't work around it if there's no plan, especially if he walks out
no,
2 weeks earlier.
no, I mean, like he walked out last week on Raw,
Yeah,
but he was there. Although they had the argument, he was there this week on
yeah.
Raw. So, I don't see him walking out at all.
I hope not. Another thing to discuss, moving on, is we talked heavily about it a bit before. Bray Wyatt, entertaining segment on Raw. The lightning on the chair, him laughing in Undertaker's face. And that's Bray Wyatt for us, though, isn't it? What do we think? First off, who do you want to win at WrestleMania?
I think I've made this point perfectly clear.
You did.
Bray Wyatt.
You did make it clear, but I didn't record it, so no one heard it. Now you can tell us again.
It has to be Bray Wyatt. I mean, The Undertaker's come off a loss. Yes. Another loss won't hurt him. It would hurt Bray Wyatt. I mean, this is a chance for Bray Wyatt's career to be legitimized. And the fact that he's single-handedly keeping this storyline, this big feud alive for weeks on end now, just credit to him. Credit to him. And the fact that he's playing The Undertaker at his own game without The Undertaker actually being there. I mean, like, we have had teasers, we have glimpse of The Undertaker there, which brings back the WrestleMania feeling. But that's only because of Bray Wyatt. So, for me, Bray Wyatt has to win.
I agree with that feeling thing that no one else could have done what Bray Wyatt is doing. CM Punk couldn't have done the same thing. Triple H couldn't have done the same thing what Bray Wyatt is doing now. I'll be man enough to admit you won me over a few weeks ago when we discussed. I think Bray Wyatt should win as well. First I was thinking Undertaker because, it looks bad losing 2 in a row, but then you realise Undertaker can go next year, whereas Bray Wyatt still got his whole career ahead of him, and to go into his career with 2 losses on his WrestleMania resume isn't a great thing. I'd like to see Bray Wyatt win. I think he can do it. Ending one fear and putting himself forward. That's a big thing. But obviously, if whatever happens, hopefully it's a good match. Obviously, we know Undertaker will be carried by Wyatt, so he's got a lot to do. He's carrying the whole build up on his shoulders. Then he's got to carry the whole match on his shoulders. Also, there's a lot. It's a big test for Wyatt. Huge test. But I think the bigger test depends on what happens the night after and the months after. This is something you brought up. Is Bray Wyatt ready for the WWE World Heavyweight title scene?
It's a difficult one.
I think it's difficult because the title's now won.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Here's the thing, though. Recently, with Bray Wyatt, you could stall him, you could keep him down, you keep him quiet. He's never really quiet. He's always doing something. He keeps his feuds fresh somehow. It might be like, it might not be as significant, but he does have this thing where he keeps his storylines rolling. And that's the thing with him. He could kind of keep eventing himself, keep the wheel spinning. And I think he could do that with the world title scene as well.
Yeah.
As in somehow he could actually change himself again. I mean, it goes back to like where he debuted. He debuted with the likes of, with his family. And he's moved on from that. Evented himself with the likes of Jericho. Then again, we saw a different side of him with the likes of Dean Ambrose. And I think he could do that again with the world title scene. And the fact that he's been carrying such a big match. It's a big match at the end of the day. Facing The Undertaker. Doing all the promos,
At the same time, people might argue that because he's doing so well, he doesn't need the world title.
Well, what has he got after The Undertaker? Who's big enough for Bray Wyatt to face after The Undertaker?
I agree on that side, yeah. I was a Wyatt fan. I want to see him compete for the title, but I think if Reigns wins, he has to be one of the top contenders. He has to be. Will he be is a different story.
Honestly, I think to keep his momentum going, because he could be a true main eventer for years on end.
Yeah.
Whenever you look at him, he has that side of him that's very The Undertaker, but very mankind as well. And that's what I love, that he brings that edginess, that side to him, that mystique about him. And we've seen from the Mankind Undertaker, it can work.
Yeah.
It can be tailored to work with the world title scene. And that's with Bray Wyatt as well. Husky Harris.
Husky Harris is
tailored so much.
Husky Harris is world champion. But yeah, let us know what you think of Bray Wyatt. Should he, or is he ready, for the world title scene after WrestleMania? Moving on from that, getting through this very quick, aren't we? NXT. Imran. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Arif. Now, what does this say?
What does it say?
It says, "Hi guys, I know you're recording the podcast right now. Can you apologise to our listeners that I'm not there this week? I know they've missed me. Can you just remind them during the NXT segment that Mojo Rawley is the future of the WWE?" Of course I can. Arif. Come on.
You heard it here first. Mojo Rawley, the future of WWE.
Of course I can let everyone.
Arif. Or Raza, who might just be making it up.
No, I'm not. That's a genuine text from Arif. He just wants me to remind you. What kind of friend would I be if I didn't do that?
I can't wait till the fallout of this from next week.
Arif, I'll let the fans know now. Everyone, according to Arif, Mojo Rawley is the future of the WWE. Imran, I'm sorry for stealing your thunder. You can take it away with this week's NXT highs and lows, if there's any lows anyway.
That's fine, because the night starts off with a high. Enzo Amore and Big Cass getting the win over the Lucha Dragons and becoming the... Yeah, definitely. But they become the new number one contenders to the tag team titles. And guys, let's be honest, anybody getting a win over the Lucha Dragons is a good now. Because the Lucha Dragons have kind of just lost it ever since they beat the Ascension's win streak. I mean, they have no character beyond their costumes. But that's not the case with Enzo and Big Cass. They always bring some new, fresh lines each and every week. And the fact that they get the whole arena involved, the viewers involved, these guys deserve to be in the title scene.
What were the chances? The guy called Lizards and 15% chance.
Yes. Give us 50% off or else get the hell out of it or something.
That was so awesome.
It was. But from a high, we went to a low. And that low,
I don't believe
it's not the Divas match. It's Carmella.
Oh, God.
Her match with Alexa Bliss wasn't bad, actually. Alexa Bliss, bless her, gave her heart to the match. I mean, she went from a front flip off the top rope into an arm drag into a pin combination. She's great, and it's no... As in, this explained why WWE's right to be very high on her right now. But Carmella, she brings the whole Enzo Amore thing without bringing anything new, no fresh lines. She's a bit of a Beyonce.
That's a big comparison from nowhere. A bit of a Beyonce.
Kind of. How do you be a
bit of a Beyonce, man? People want to know. How do you be a bit of a Beyonce?
You just move your head around and swish your hair. That's all she does.
And get about 25 people to write your work for you. Yeah, I guess you can do that.
Yeah, Beyonce. Gimmick Beyonce. But the thing is, though, in the ring, this is a major problem I have with her. The fact that she stays down for the 1 count, and that's it. She doesn't let anybody get a 2 count on her. And that pause, that 1 second extra, adds so much to the match.
Yeah.
And this match didn't have that. And that's a huge problem I have with Carmella right now. Yep. But then we got a high straight after that with Alex Riley. He had a backstage promo up and he talks about being trapped in a cage and he's starving while everybody eats around him. His promo is really good, a classic pro wrestling promo. Riley makes it clear that he wants nothing more than to get back into the ring after nearly 2 whole years. That surprised me, 2 whole years.
All he's been doing is sitting in pre-shows. I thought it was a choice. But based on his match, well, he still looks good in the ring.
I'm not going to lie. I remember a time where he got into a backstage heat or backstage fight or something with John Cena. And ever since then, he's either been on Superstars or been on commentary, really.
Just goes to show, don't cross John Cena. I did it. Look where I am now.
Yep. But from there, we went to a neither high, neither a low. I don't know what to call this.
We call it the neutral.
Hello. A hello.
Or
That's
that.
what we call it.
Or that, yeah.
Because Alex Riley is Alex Riley. I mean, his match against C.J. Parker, it wasn't great. It was terrible. Yeah, exactly. He's been in NXT territory hell as well recently. But again, like, I mean, yes, Alex Riley is very muscular, but he seems like he's one of the older models in NXT. He's very, very... You could tell he's aging a lot now.
Those are 2 years that does to you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could tell he's been in the gym, but there's that sagginess. You know, he's very old, that sagginess. But to save the whole segment came Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens, yes, he came out, he stated the obvious, but again, like, what obvious it was. He called Riley's tattoos dumb. He said that he's lucky he's muscular and that Riley isn't good enough to derail him. He says he's ready to think about Finn Balor because he will still be employed this time next year. Ouch. But all true.
That is true. Very true.
He says it to his face while lifting up the NXT title. And then we got another high, the main event. Tyler Breeze picked up a big win against Hideo Itami, the former Kenta. Now, this was a big win for Breeze.
Hideo Itami.
Yeah. Yes.
According to Tyler Breeze.
Hideo Itami.
I called him Hideous. But yeah.
Hideous Itami. Hideous it is then. Hideous Itami. But this match itself, it wasn't better than the previous encounters, but the fact that this came after the previous encounters just made the importance of the match so much more. And the fact that Tyler Breeze, who's kind of been stale since the start of this feud, since during this feud.
I'd say since the conclusion of Fatal 4-Way, he's just gone downwards.
Yeah, absolutely. But NXT in general, it was another high. Surprise, surprise. But, yeah.
On NXT, I think you told me this a while ago, not a while ago, a few hours ago. They're trying to bring in... I forgot the tag team's name. Well, not tag team, but what are they called? The brothers.
The Briscoes.
The Briscoes, yeah.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor World Champion.
One of the Briscoe.
Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe.
Maybe it's one, just like you, so...
Maybe.
Have you thought about it that way?
I haven't.
I'll give you something to think about. Think about that. Do you think... Obviously, you know more about them than I do. What do you say? Good addition? Big addition to NXT?
That's the thing. I absolutely love Jay Briscoe. He, for me, is the whole reason why I'm watching Ring of Honor right now.
I'm guessing he's the world champion then.
I just stated that. So, yeah, well done, Captain Obvious.
You said you love Jay Briscoe. It might have been the harder working younger brother who's not quite at the top yet. I just thought you appreciated that. Like Arif on the podcast.
Yeah,
anyway.
Anyway. Yeah, as in Jay Briscoe, I love Jay Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is the strange one. For me, he's very crazy. He's missing his forefront top teeth. He just walks around shouting crazy stuff. So I don't know where he could fit.
The new Bushwhackers.
Yeah, they're the new Bushwhackers. Jay Briscoe is very, very serious though. Again, both of them are very great in the ring. Really good in the ring. Very indie stars. But they have the whole Wyatt family kind of...
Yes, I read that online as well.
They're very outback. They're very, you know...
That's not a bad shout. I'm not quite
sure what word is.
It's not a bad shout though. I think it's a good way to debut. If you can debut alongside Bray Wyatt.
But that's the thing, they're not. Because let's be honest, they're going to be in NXT and they're going to have to change. And I don't like that. I don't like that change.
Oh, I'm dreading the name changes as well.
Yeah, the Briscoes are good. What they're good at. Stick to the Briscoes.
Yeah, but the WWE is a whole different ballgame. Obviously, surely you'd want to join at one stage or another.
Surely, but not when you're doing so great in Ring of Honor. I mean, Ring of Honor's like lost its Kevin Owens and such, and like the Briscoes are the biggest name attraction they've got right now. Well, one of the biggest. So I'm hoping they stay.
Keep hoping. It probably won't happen. Probably will. We'll have to wait and see. There are a lot of talented independent stars, WWE.
Oh, I know where.
You know,
The talented ones are in Lucha Underground.
more cheap.
The best wrestling show in the world.
I don't know what to say to that. Just more advertising. I hope they're paying you well.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I got good news as well. Actually,
Are you trying to trick me?
no, it's very good news. It's for John Morrison. Apparently, Million did cheat on you, John Morrison. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
yep.
Oh, okay. Congratulations, John. Anyway,
Get back there after 7 years later.
I was going to say Triple H WWE want to sign top independent stars to NXT, obviously trying to make it a massive brand in itself. There is something taking place tonight. What is it? Friday the 13th. I don't know when you lot are going to be listening to it, but on Friday the 13th, there is an event in Preston, England, Barrett's hometown. PCW event. It's Uhaa Nation defending the Preston World title against Chris Masters in a loser leaves Preston or PCW match. Does that mean Uhaa Nation loses and confirms those rumours that he has signed with the WWE? I think it's happening. I think it's
happening. I think, like you said before, like everybody wants to end up in WWE somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, he started off with that dream. This is his chance. I think he's already signed the contract. This is just bad luck on the Friday the 13th for PCW kind of thing. But yeah, Ohio Nation is coming to WWE.
I hope it does. It's
Ohio Nation. Ohio Nation? Ohio Nation. Oa.
I hope he does.
That's worse than the Usos. Oa.
I hope he does. He's very talented. I'd recommend you go and watch him online. He does bring a lot to the table. It'll be interesting to see what, if and when, most likely when he signs with the WWE, what his name will be as well. Sticking with NXT because we love it so much and it's better than Lucha Underground. There's more news.
You just said that.
There's more news on the NXT brand expansion plans. We know NXT are planning to tour and put on house shows, but Triple H wants to make the brand more of a rival promotion to the WWE than just a developmental territory. Apparently Triple H loves all of the online thank yous and praise that he receives because his name's attached to it. He soaks it all in, and we know social media, they erupt when an NXT takeover takes place as well. But I think, I wanted to ask you, do you think that's a good move if Triple H signs top independent stars? I mean, you're talking about Uhaa Nation, you're talking about the Briscoes, you're talking about potentially Samoa Joe as well, adding them and other, from Ring of Honor to NXT, to stay on NXT and rival the main roster. Is that a good move?
Yes. Definitely. Again, the only reason why I still have WWE Network is because of NXT. And all this best for business bullcrap. It is actually best for business if they make it for the wrestling fans, us wrestling fans, because NXT is for us wrestling fans.
Us wrestling fans, and the Arif who likes Mojo Rawley, them kind of fans as well.
Yeah, I mean,
to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that they're bringing up, bringing in proper wrestlers, Kevin Owens, and giving them chances like that on the big stage, incredible. Jay Briscoe, hopefully, if they don't change him around, again, incredible. You got other guys like ACH from Ring of Honor, the Young Bucks. Again, we'll love them. If that's the new indie scene, I will like it. I still like my Lucha Underground.
I think the key thing there is NXT could be a well-funded independent promotion. They'll have the money. But I think that could really damage, PWG, Ring of Honor, TNA, which is basically an indie promotion as well at this point, let's be honest.
Yeah, it
could damage them. I don't care about the TNA anyway, but it could damage, independent scenes like Ring of Honor and PWG. But I guess, as WWE fans, we don't care.
I care.
let's move on from... That's our NXT segment done this week. Thank you, Imran. Let's move on. So this is the lowest point of my week. I mean, I prefer waking up on Monday mornings in the rain than sitting here and listening to the best review of the worst show the WWE brings to us every single week, Thursday Night SmackDown. I hate Thursday so much, with a passion. It's horrible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Arif did return to the main event podcast studio, and he strapped me in my chair, forcefully at that too, to watch SmackDown. But surprisingly, SmackDown opened up with a high. The opening segment saw Daniel Bryan come out and talk about the Intercontinental title and the fact that he's officially entering the ladder match. And yep, you've guessed it, the rest of the superstars come out that are involved in the intertitle scene. That's Bad News Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, Stardust, and R-Truth. Truth stays on the ramp with the title. So that's 3 faces, 3 heels. The faces get the better of the heels, which sets up our 6-man tag team match. Ooh, Teddy Long must be proud. Then we got another high. We got the Usos and the New Day teaming up against Kid, Cesaro, and Los Matadors. And guys, it seems like we're heading towards a multi-tag team title match at WrestleMania. And surprisingly, the win came from the Los Matadors, who acted like heels. They got the switcheroo, they got the pin. Surprising, actually. But then from pretty decent tag team matches, surprises, we got to a low. At first, I thought Reigns was going to have the shortest promo of the week, but then the world's strongest man returned. Yes, Mark Henry returned and told Roman Reigns he can't beat Brock Lesnar.
I mean, that's just what he does.
Yeah, but the thing is, going back to the Raw review about the crowd, Mark Henry is a veteran who's done great in the ring for nearly 2 whole decades, and the crowd gave him no reaction. It was dead.
But that's just what he does.
No editing could have saved that reaction.
That's just what he does.
No, you don't. But not only that, but when he actually came back, he gave Roman Reigns advice. He wasn't acting as a heel. He just said that he can't beat Brock Lesnar. But Reigns acted like a child, ignoring Henry.
That's just what he does. That's just what he does.
Exactly what he does. And then Henry pushes Reigns, as he does, and leading to Reigns hitting a Superman punch and then spearing Mark Henry through the barricades. And then from one low, we went to another with the Divas match, and I thought we actually saw this on Raw. Paige and AJ Lee versus Summer Rae and Cameron. I don't know who won. There was drama after the match.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't care about the drama either. But then the final high-low of the night, and it was a high, the main event. Bryan, Ziggler, and Ambrose versus Harper, Stardust, and Barrett. Great way to end the show, with all men showing their great talent that they all have, and each in their own different ways. It was long enough for all men to shine. The face picked up the win. But it ended with a bit of tension, really, between the faces, the 3 faces, as at the end of the match, Ziggler and Ambrose called Daniel Bryan a turd. Yes, Daniel Bryan is now a turd. And even he was confused. It was slightly weird, but the fact that they added tension, I loved.
Turd
I
tension.
absolutely love that. Yep.
That's a good tagline for their match. Turd tension. At WrestleMania.
The turd match, yep. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was SmackDown.
Thank God that's over.
Can you unstrap me down?
I mean, if you really want to, you told me you liked it, but I guess.
This is no 50 Shades of Grey. Actually, that reminds me of something. Somebody else has been dishing out a lot of abuse recently, past couple of weeks. The allegations have been coming out. I'm pretty sure you all know who I'm talking about. Bill DeMott.
Bill DeMott, what have you been doing, my friend? You have been accused of all sorts. I don't know where to begin. You're a homophobe, apparently. You are a racist, apparently. You like to make people give stink faces to everyone's favorite broski, Zack Ryder, apparently.
Naked stink faces.
Naked stink. Oh, yes, that's key. That changes the game completely. It's strange. If I'm being quite honest, this is so strange. A lot of people have come forward and said, yeah, this is all true. Some people have stuck up for him, Chris Jericho, Vince Russo, they've stuck up for him. I don't know. I think it's a good thing that he resigned, or maybe was told to resign by Triple H, so it doesn't damage the WWE. But I do think he will still work there in some capacity. I don't know why. This is because I think the WWE don't want any lawsuits coming their way. Apparently they are waiting, they're expecting lawsuits from this controversy to be filed. Yeah. I think it was Dave Meltzer reported that DeMott will probably try and get a significant amount of severance pay to resign and simply walk away. And there's a lot of people like Dr. Tom Pritchard saying they should have got rid of him a while back. So I'm guessing he's done something quite serious. Maybe stuff we've not heard of. And this situation will just keep getting stickier and stickier and stickier. But that does lead into some backstage jealousy in NXT. Obviously, we do know that, what's his name, Low Tensai, Jason Albert, whatever you want to call him, is now the head trainer, so well done to him. He's actually been good at commentary as well, might just add. He's actually...
surprisingly.
Yeah, he's really good. So obviously he's got a big task now of continuing Bill DeMott's job, hopefully without the naked stink faces. Hopefully
without the racism.
Whatever floats his boat, I just hope he gets the best.
Apart from homophobia as well.
Yeah, but we don't know that's homophobia. But according to sources, there is backstage jealousy in NXT. This is amongst Triple H's supposed clique with, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, his four favourite superstars, Hideo Itami and Sami Zayn. This relates to Kevin Owens, dating back to Our Evolution, the Takeover episode. Apparently, Bill DeMott, Triple H, Kevin Owens, a little bit of situation because Bill DeMott was in charge of producing Kevin Owens' debut match against CJ Parker, and he didn't want Kevin Owens to do a particular spot. I think it was when he dived outside the ring or jumped over, something like that. And DeMott, he didn't like this idea of Kevin Owens being this big monster doing flip dives and so many moves in his opening match. Owens then went to complain to Triple H, and Triple H just told DeMott to do Kevin Owens, let him do whatever he wants to do. This causes some hard feelings amongst other talent. But the impression backstage is that whatever Triple H's favourites want to do, they're allowed to do it, while the rest are micromanaged. They're not allowed to do, work their indie style of matches that get overwhelmed with NXT crowd. I mean, do you think that's fair? At the same time, Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. He's NXT champion. People are touting him for great things. Is that fair? I genuinely thought you disappeared.
Is it fair?
I genuinely thought you disappeared.
Oh. No, I'm still here. I wish I sneaked out somehow.
I know SmackDown takes it out of you. I know that feeling. I'm tempted to leave as well. But it happens.
No, this is NXT. We have to stay for the NXT discussions. But yeah, going back to the question, it's not fair, but I don't know. I think it was quite clear from the get-go, like Kevin Owens was going to be the big man. I mean, debuting on special event takeover,
so much hype as
the
well.
actual promos leading into it, the fact that he's going to take everything, make a better life. It all fits. He was always going to be the big man. So, I'm glad he's doing the indie moves, the indie style wrestling, because this is more of the indie scene, not the WWE scene. But it's not fair.
It's not fair, is it? I agree. It's not fair. What can you do though? Kevin Owens.
Yeah. But then again, what goes around comes around. Bill DeMott, the biggest bat in the whole of the wrestling industry, got what's coming to him. So,
if he did all those things. Let's be honest, he did. Let's be honest. Not going to listen to it. He did do it. There's no lawsuits coming this way. He did do it.
Yeah.
Sticking with NXT, obviously a massive topic, massive discussion as well going online. That Samoa Joe is expected to head over to NXT after he fulfills his contractual obligations with Ring of Honor in April. Now you brought this up.
Yep.
What is the best possible feud for Samoa Joe in NXT? I've got my opinion. You've got yours.
I have mine. Mine's a bit different. So I want to leave mine after yours.
Well, I mean, Arif just sent me another text. He goes, Samoa Joe should feud with Mojo Rawley. So that's Arif's suggestion. My suggestion.
Let's be honest. At the moment with NXT can do no wrong.
Yeah.
So whoever it was with, the first feud, the next possible feuds, they're all going to be good.
Yeah.
But
my choice would be ideally Kevin Owens. He just seems to be dominant on NXT topics, doesn't he, Kevin? Good old Kev. But I think it fits in well because Samoa Joe shouldn't have to fight his way to the top because he's so, well known, so experienced. He can bring a lot to the table. I think he's probably the best superstar who can put Kevin Owens over. He can put anyone over, let's be honest. And everyone knows him. Even if you're a fan of WWE, you know who Samoa Joe is. And for me, the thing that wins it over is obviously the matches and the crowd, because NXT crowd are always crazy. Getting chants from Joe's gonna kill you to fight Owens fight, kill Owens kill. That itself on a takeover event, main event, that's just something you want to be there in person for, to see that.
I mean, let's be honest. Kevin Owens is not exactly the most athletic looking superstar, but yet he's so athletic.
Yeah.
Same with Samoa Joe. So to have two big men, two dominant men like that, with so much aggression, so much chance like Joe's gonna kill you, for example, it's gonna be aggressive fight.
Yep.
Not bad. But I knew you were gonna say that.
Give me praise, not bad.
I gave Kevin Owens praise.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But my pick is someone different.
It's like a Lucha Underground, is it? Let's just get that clear.
Now he's doing the free advertisements, the cheap pops. But no, it's someone in NXT. He's sort of a forgotten superstar, really.
You agree with Arif?
He's not even. No, he's better than Mojo Rawley. He's a mega star. He's a huge star. These two faced off against each other number of times. It's the former Kenta, Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the Ring of Honor days, where they're both faced off a number of times with the likes of Daniel Bryan. The three had an incredible match back in those many years ago, good 9 years now, 2006, 2007. I mean, these guys have got natural chemistry going back to, again, in wrestling in Japan, for example. They used to tag team together.
Yeah.
They have natural chemistry. They know what they're all going to be about. I mean, they're very, very physical. Kenta, Hideo Itami is very physical. He likes his kicks. He likes throwing his body around. And the same thing with Samoa Joe. And the fact that they know how to get the best out from each other is going to produce nothing but a spectacle in NXT. And let's be honest, Hideo Itami could do with a big feud like that.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say, Hideo Itami, so much hype. Hulk Hogan went out to Japan, signed him. It just seems he's not hitting those heights of Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. So he probably does need someone to sort that out for him. I think you're probably right. Samoa Joe is the man to probably get the best out of him. Because, as I said, he will put anyone over, really, in the WWE.
Yep.
So let us know if you're a Samoa Joe fan, if you somehow watched TNA all those years ago.
I still watch TNA.
He still watches it.
Fortunately.
No one's forcing you to watch TNA, so don't pin that on me and Arif. You willingly watch TNA. But yeah, please let us know who you think.
Oh, do you know what I willingly watch? Lucha Underground.
Oh, wow.
Did I mention it's the best wrestling show in the world?
Maybe once or 9 times. But if you let us know who you think would be a good feud for Samoa Joe if he is to sign with the WWE in the NXT division. Moving on, current United States Champion Rusev. Big news surrounding him. Well, the entrance anyway. Apparently the WWE said, not apparently, I need to stop saying that. They sent out a casting call email to, various independent stars. There was one, AJ Kirsch, who I think appeared on Tough Enough a long time ago. He posted an image on his Facebook account over the email, and it said, casting notice, the project name, WWE WrestleMania event, project type, stage show, and the message was to portray a marching Russian soldiers. Must be available all 3 days, only submit if you fit the description and you're completely available. Reminder to know if you have any marching or dancing experience. Cheers. That explains why Arif's not been around. I think he has marching or dancing experience. I think he has
dancing experience.
He does. But yeah, on a serious note, what can we say? First WrestleMania, he's supposed to get an elaborate entrance, Russian soldiers marching him down to the ring, Russian flag waving about. First WrestleMania, you get John Cena, you get an amazing entrance. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, what more could you ask for, actually? Yeah,
a win wouldn't be too bad either. But apart from that, what more could you ask for from the WWE? I think it's showing they've got a lot.
That's the thing.
Yeah, they've got a lot of faith.
I think right now yeah, exactly, and you know what, he deserves it. He's doing incredible work. So,
as in, people can say, people can say, oh yeah, he's been given the United States title. But the thing is, not many people could have made this, Russian anti-American gimmick work. Lana's doing a solid job. Even though we're seeing a bit more tension now. Yeah. Now that she's going off as well. So do you think she'll be at WrestleMania? Considering she's going to go make a film.
No, I think she won't miss WrestleMania. She won't miss WrestleMania.
I hope she doesn't anyway.
Yeah.
She's a big asset to this.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't. Yep.
Yours is for different reasons.
Well. Yep, the assets. But saying that, going back to Rusev, I'm just so incredibly impressed with him because this guy came out as someone who can't talk with a Russian gimmick, and he's doing some great talking, some great promo work, actually, surprisingly.
When you got me into NXT, I remember seeing Rusev, different attire, shorter hair. They used to bring out a plank of wood to the ring with him with his victim's name on it.
Yeah.
To move from that failed, stupid gimmick to having a marquee match at WrestleMania against John Cena, United States title on line, where you're defending it, you're going to have your own amazing entrance with Russian soldiers, all the focus is on you. Rusev's made it. And I pray that Rusev wins this match. He has to. I'm so impressed with him. He has to win this match.
I mean, going back to NXT, he didn't stay in NXT for too long. Again, I was very doubtful of him, and he's proved me wrong.
Well, him and Lana, I think Lana's been
I'm a lover. I'm a lover of his work and his Lana.
And you just love Lana. Not her word. You just love Lana.
Another thing. Yeah, but another thing that I'm incredibly loving. There's one match in particular. At the start, when they were piecing it together a couple of weeks back, I was very doubtful. I was like, this is not going to work. The intertitle scene.
Interesting, isn't it?
What do you think of it, Raza?
At first, I thought it was a bit of a joke. Intercontinental Championship being passed around like it's nothing. I mean, for years, everyone's been saying, there's no importance for the Intercontinental Championship. But the more I saw it changing hands, the more I saw people, fans interested in where the goal is, I became interested as well. The Intercontinental title, I think this match can steal the show. And at first, I was a little bit skeptical. It's not going to work. Yep. I think it is going to work. I think it's going to be one of the better matches of the night because of who's involved. I think we can rule out R-Truth. And I think the WWE made one key decision in 2 matches even. John Cena's in the United States title match. That makes the United States title relevant. Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler are in the Intercontinental title match. That makes the Intercontinental title relevant. And they're must-see matches now at WrestleMania rather than that one big championship.
Yeah. No, you know what? Honestly, Raza, normally I don't agree with you. Normally I hate your opinions. Normally I'm just forced to listen to you. But I completely agree. Like, at the start when the title started getting stolen by the likes of, who was it? It was Dean Ambrose first. Then it was R-Truth. Yeah. I thought it was nothing but a gimmick. And I thought it was another spit on the title, spit on the face of the wrestling fans. But it's not. It's really not, because this feud is all about the title, nothing but the title, and the fact that the title in the last couple of years has has pretty much been forgotten. Has been the kind of you hold it, you're the man, and you just lose a couple of matches kind of title. It's not, and the fact that you've got the big stars like Dolph Ziggler, who's been getting some pops bigger than Daniel Bryan recently, and then you got Daniel Bryan, a big major kind of the traditional wrestler. I mean, he incorporates so much of the previous intertitle champions, the classics. I mean, this is nothing but like a real gem for the fans. And we know with the likes of Dean Ambrose, even R-Truth, Stardust, these are so talented, such gifted superstars, such gifted wrestlers and innovators that a ladder match, this is like the best alternative to the classic Money in the Bank matches we used to have in the last couple of years at WrestleMania.
I agree.
It's going to be nothing. Absolutely. This is my alternative to the main events that will probably suck. But yeah,
big say it can happen. They got some talented superstars. I know it's not our official prediction show. That's coming up in a few weeks. If I was to ask you for an early favourite right now, as of what's been taking place, we don't know who's going to win, but the direction it seems to be going in, who do you think has the better chance of winning? Not walking out, but now solidly winning the title.
Winning, because we don't know who's going to be walking out, stealing the title. I honestly don't know, because I still think the beauty about this feud is there's still so many twists left. I mean, you still got the vignettes of Sheamus that he's returning. Yeah. Where is he returning? When is he returning? I think he's returning to this match, actually. Would he win? I don't think he's going to win.
But then again...
At the moment, I don't know who's going to win.
But again, Sheamus, if he is to have this massive return, it could be in the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where he could win that.
Could be.
Still a possibility. I think for me, if I was to pick an early favourite, as I said, we can rule our truth out. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but we can rule our truth out. I've got a sneaky feeling it could be Stardust, who could do it. I don't know why.
I don't think it's going to be Stardust. I think he's...
Thank you for thank you for that. Thank you for just disregarding my option completely.
Anytime.
I'm used to it. Don't worry about it. But finishing off,
I would either go with Daniel Bryan or Ziggler from them two. Yeah,
Bryan as well. That's a big shout considering he's a solid world title contender.
Yep. Well, we didn't get the Bryan and Lesnar match, so
we could get a Bryan and Reigns again for the title.
No, I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Finally, we can conclude with one of the latest matches to be added at last. We knew it was going to happen, it's just a matter of when. Finally, we get Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31.
It was stupid because the fans have been asking for it for time and time again, and finally the RKO came, and it was so predictable, so much so it wasn't even part of your review.
Thanks. I still think it could be a solid match. Orton, all we know, is a safe worker. He is good in the ring. Rollins, he's an architect for a reason. Not a real architect, he doesn't design buildings. I'm talking about in the ring. But for me personally, I think this is one of those matches that people will still be talking about once WrestleMania finishes.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Randy Orton is Randy Orton. There's times where he's nothing but crap. They are. Let's be completely honest with that.
Yeah.
But when you give him the tools to bring that aggressiveness, when you give him that leeway to bring that edginess to his character, the guy's pure gem. He's pure gold. And that's the thing with this rivalry that we're seeing. He's bought that edginess. He's bought that arrogance. He's bought that kind of urgency. And we're going to see that in the match as well. And I'm completely falling for it. This guy is someone going out for revenge. I mean, something that didn't make my my review for SmackDown was the interview Michael Cole gave to Randy Orton. I loved it. He was great there, and I hate interviews. I hate documentaries. I hate SmackDown, but I enjoyed it. And that's the thing that I'm getting from this feud. And with Rollins, something, what can I say? Brilliant. So this is going to be another great match.
I wanted to ask, who do you think needs the victory? It's tough, isn't it? It's not easy.
It's tough. I mean, Seth Rollins still got Money in the Bank. He could still lose so many matches. I mean, he picked up the win against Roman Reigns last week.
Yeah.
So they are, you can tell they're building towards a cash in.
I think
cash in.
Do you think it could take place at WrestleMania?
I hope it does. I don't think it will. But going back to who I think is going to win, like, I don't think a loss will do any of them any bad. I think both of them are like they're climbing so high. Really, this is a stepping stone for both of them again.
I read something earlier this week about Rollins' year so far, and I'm trying to figure out what that number was. I think in 2000, between March 2014 to March 2015, apparently he's only won 4 matches. Is that true? No, he's won 5. He's won 5 matches this year, not since last March. This year, and he's lost 40. He's lost 40 matches as Mr. Money in the Bank, and he's won 5. I think he needs that win more, if he's not to cash in at WrestleMania.
I don't know if you're making this up.
No, I'm serious. This is a stat I read online.
That's an incredible stat. I mean, losing 40 already.
As Mr. Money in the Bank. Yes.
Wow.
And he's won 5. For me, that's weighted towards Rollins. I'd like to see him get a win at WrestleMania. Then again, Rollins... What happened in the Shield's first WrestleMania? They won, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they won the second.
They won the second.
I'd like to see the Shield, all 3 of them, continue winning at WrestleMania and get something to fight for later on.
Yeah, the new...
streak. Dean Ambrose streak. If he wins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that losing record so far this year changes everything.
It does, doesn't it?
Wow, I didn't think it was that bad.
But then again, do you think it's a bad night? Well, actually, it's not a bad night. What am I saying? It's not a bad night if Rollins gets pinned, makes it over 40, and then cashes in on either Lesnar or Reigns. Those 40 losses mean nothing because you're the champion.
I think it's the case with the Intertitle again. I mean, the WWE sees it, the fact that they're holding something, they're still valuable. So the Intertitle, if you're holding it, you're very valuable. Lose as much as you can. Nobody will remember because you're still holding the title. Same thing with Money in the Bank. And then, like, Seth Rollins cashes it in on Brock Lesnar and then faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
It is going to be interesting.
Maybe I can hope.
You can hope. Was it 2 Raws left until WrestleMania? Certainly hotting up now.
Yep.
That's up
and
today.
I'm actually hoping there's going to be some extra matches, some alternative matches, to be honest. But yep,
there might be. We'll find out. Maybe we can discuss it next week. But that's all we have for today. Some interesting things we got through. Thank you for discussing them with me, Imran. Thank you for joining me as well.
Thank you. And could I say?
I know what's coming. I'll just let you say it because we're at the end.
In all seriousness now.
Okay, I'm serious now.
Lucha Underground is actually the best wrestling show in the world. Honestly, viewers, you should really watch it. You should really check it out. The action is just so fast-paced, high moving, high risk.
Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, download. Is he still talking?
And you've got
be sure to like, subscribe, comment, download.
Incredible
recommend us.
Match.
Recommend us as well.
You've got women wrestlers fighting male wrestlers.
Plenty of platforms around.
Incredible.
We're pretty much equal to us everywhere. You don't have to listen to Imran all the time. Listen to me. Download our podcast, like them, share them with your friends and family who also like the WWE. We're on plenty of platforms now, which you can find in the description boxes below, and we'll see you with another episode next week.
With more Lucha Underground!